This is Salamancer, and it's game time. It is definitely game time. Look at those teams. Look at those teams right there. Mixup versus the Pinball Wizards. This is the first invite game of the season that I've casted, and oh man, I just remembered to turn my volume down, so that should fix that. Anyway, it is classic Mixup versus the Pinball Wizards. This is one of the games we didn't get around to casting live on XTV yesterday. I did cast one. It was HRG versus Seriously Bro with Valen, and that was a pretty excellent cast, gotta say. But right now, we are getting out here to the mid-fight, and the very first casualty here on possibly the last Snakewater game of the season. Just kidding, it's gonna come back. The first casualty is Relic, and then Basic follows. So that's, I think, both of the roaming soldiers down right now. Still a lot of fighting going on over the middle point, and the scouts for the Pinball Wizards are jumping in. Tangy and Squid now have to retreat after taking quite a bit of damage there, but man, they are all still alive practically. Finally, the Pinball Wizards losing a couple players, and Sweater is going to have to launch down some stickies to retreat. Classic Mix-Up, putting the dispenser right here on the middle point, which they have captured. So you can see that the... apparently there's some voice comms going on. But the roster of Mix-Up has changed from last season, and I guess this is a perfect time to go over it, because they're paused. Whew. So they replaced their medic, of course. Hard Blue decided to start a new team, Mihai's Flow, with Pure. So their medic is now Shrew, but Debes, Enigma, Platinum, and Relic, those four, Debes meaning Moose, and that is that who we're on now? It is. We're looking at Moose right now, and he's an awesome guy. And also, he was just a freaky awesome scout. Like, everybody was sitting behind him at LAN. It was absolutely amazing. But those four core members of Classic Mixup are still on the team, still an invite this season, and they are still one of the top contenders, I do believe. Although everybody's kind of looking at Mihai's Flow, Bro, and Quantic to kind of be the top three, it's still way up in the air right now, because anything can happen. So Mixup still quite high up there, have some amazing players of their own. Platinum, one of the beastiest demo men ever. Relic, who I guess was consistently kind of underrated through the last season. Relic ended up going just gigantically huge at LAN, so it turned into one of the best soldiers possibly the nation has ever seen. And wow, look at that sticky trap right there. Moose is like, whoa, what did I just walk by? But no, Mix-Up, they've of course added Smacka on the demo man as well. At least, wait, is that right? Platinum is now playing Soldier again, actually. So he decided he doesn't want to play demo anymore. Anyway, the Ubers are in now. Mix-Up having to retreat after theirs. They've taken down Basic. Looks like Lansky, who, by the way, does his own stream constantly for all of his scrims, and you need to check that out. Lansky is playing Pocket Soldier right now, and he's going to try and keep KVK the medic nice and healed up. And so Mix-Up had to drop back after that attack. Didn't quite work out for them. They had a little bit of a player advantage, but there was enough respawns on the Pinball Wizards that they managed to defend their second point properly. And the roster of the Pinball Wizards is more or less the same as it was from Intermediate, except I think Valen was on this team in Intermediate, and they have replaced his role with Basic. But I think everybody else is the same, actually. It's Tang, Squid, Sweater on the Demo Man, who is just an absolute beast demo. Lansky, who of course streams like all of his games, and you can hear their comms and everything, so like go check out Lansky's stream. I'm serious. I'm going to put the link in the video, and you need to go check out his stream. And KBK on the medic, who pretty darn awesome as well. You get to hear him too, and all of his decision-making glory. Anyway, here comes Mix-Up again, pushing the same direction that they were last time around, and oh no! Shrew drops an Uber. That has been happening a lot this invite season, and so Shrew goes straight down in that push. He was trying to milk it a little bit too long. Now Platinum gets taken down in that corner over there as well. Squid's going to... Whoa! Squid was going to try and chase down that soldier, I think. No, Demo Man, I'm sorry. Smacka getting away there. He was going to try and chase him down, but no, now it's the Pinball Wizard's turn to push forward. Of course, Squid did get taken out there by a nice little scout ambush. He had his eyes, he was just kind of going tunnel vision there, and he just for that split second, he missed the scout standing right next to him. And that scout got the drop on him, got a hit immediately, and that was just pretty much the end of that. Although the scout ended up dying too. I think it was Moose, actually, who got that sweet little ambush. But now Smack and the rest of his team are dropping back here, and after having won the mid-fight, they are starting to look like they may have to defend last. They can't get enough damage out to stop this capture on second. But what is going on? Enigma on the heavy. How did he even get there? Did he probably came from forward spawn. Oh, man. Enigma jumping out there on the heavy completely ruins 3 players in a row from the Pinball Wizards. Tang is going to come in now, and this is the crazy thing. When you are a scout, you get close enough to a heavy, they just cannot track you. And so Tang going to go ahead and take that kill and hold on to the second point for now. Oh, there he goes, though. And so the Pinball Wizards do lose second after, actually I think their medic died there too. Didn't even see where that happened. Was that the heavy? Maybe it was the heavy. Sweater, nice sticky trap. Knew exactly when that scout was going to be chasing after him. Takes advantage of it. And going for some more kills, Relic ends up getting taken down by Basic. And Basic, I believe I casted him playing in a NA newbie mix game, so if you guys want to play with the newbies and learn 6v6, you can play with the likes of Basic. Invite players get in there sometimes, and they will help coach and have some fun. Right now, Basic is going to be taking a little bit of a buff. He wants to be, I think, playing the roaming soldier. Because, yeah, Lansky's pocket. That's right. Basic just going to be roaming. Watching the flanks right now, but actually, here comes a big attack through the main door. And everybody from Pinball Wizards doing the wise thing right now, backing up. KBK is just a little bit far forward. You don't usually see people quite that close, but they had the Uber. That's why they were pushing. They can't stop the point, though, and now they're in a very bad position. They don't get any forward spawns. Basic is going to be spawning all the way back at the very last area. They have a Demo Man on their flank. There goes KBK. Beautiful kill by Platinum, and Shrew doing the assist. But I think Smacka was in there helping too. And man, Smacka was down to really low health, but it doesn't matter anymore. Platinum now going to be jumping in, and oh! Lansky goes down. Nonetheless, Tangy jumping back in here, and this is a scrappy little game. Tang going for a 2K maybe, and then Sweater kills Relic, and what is going on? I don't even know. Platinum is going to help cap this point, and then Moose going to jump in towards last. KBK and Sweater are the only ones up, and KBK spots Sweater. Spots Moose here. Moose going for some cap time, but he's got to be careful. KBK with the medic kill, using that overdose. Man, this is just non-stop. You don't usually see it quite this crazy on Snakewater because there's such narrow choke points that you can fend. But man, everybody is just everywhere all the time. And the Pinball Wizards are pushing out once again. Lansky going to be leading the charge here with his nice overheal. You got to watch out for this. There is once again a heavy that is going to be Enigma. Seems that he really likes playing heavy today. And oh, that is not a smart move. Jumping into a heavy like that when he is spun up and shooting at you, you are just going to die, Lansky. So, it's a good try, but now, of course, the Doom Cops on the red team, they've lost their medic, they've lost a lot of players here. I don't know, maybe Lansky had to jump in to try and save the med or something, I have no idea, but there goes everybody on the Wizards. So the Pinball Wizards need some new spells right now, because it looks like classic Mixup dominating, taking it to 1-0. Whew. Finally get a little bit of a reprieve. Let's watch the Smacka rollout. Here in Invite, I mean, you can't mess up these rollouts, you just can't do it, so Smacka's going to be actually messing up his rollout. He is going to be slow to mid. He will have full health, but his opponent Sweater probably going to get there first. I know Sweater is just a pretty perfect demo. Not quite as godly as Banny, but he is really a demo to watch out for. And immediately a soldier jumps in. Smacka doesn't even care. He's just like, yeah, there's a soldier over there, whatever, somebody else will kill him. I am going to try and get kills on everybody else up here, and look at that. He's doing some crazy damage right now. Platinum and Enigma helping clean it up. Moose goes down, so there's 2 players down for Mixup at the moment, but Tang tries to jump in and pull a YZ50, and that's not going to happen. I don't know what's going on here, but apparently Lansky needs to put something in a frag vid. Oh, I wish I'd been watching. Oh, man. Yeah, Platinum, no, that's pretty serious, though. Platinum is pretty amazing at this game, and there you go. Sweater's just going to start laying some sticks down on the second point to try and... Oh, he's got a nice little trap over there, too. Just if people walk through that tiny little door with the stairs on the fence. You know what I'm talking about? No, you don't. I'll talk about it later. Anyway, nobody actually did walk through them, but Sticky Trap would have been effective if they had. And look at that! Squid getting a couple kills on the flank, and oh, Platinum realized that was happening and just said, no sir. And Plat, not taking a heck of a lot of heals. Wow, actually really close to death right there. But he manages to get away. And Pinball Wizards dropped back to their last point once again. Their aggression out of the last point did not work last time around. Let's just see what will happen here. As Platinum is thinking about jumping in, there's really no sticky trap to speak of at the doorway. The demo was too far away to accurately aim those sticks. And now Plat is on the point. The Uber is coming in. There is no Uber for Pinball Wizards. It's going to be a desperate defense here. And there you go. Sweater does take down Platinum. But it's not going to matter as Mixup has too many players on the point. The Pinball Wizards unable to defend it. It is now 2-0 for Classic Mixup. So, gee, my bad. Maybe you shouldn't watch this game. Just kidding. Keep watching. Promise. I promise. And yes, I do always... So for ESEA games especially, I do always know the winner beforehand because I go to the score page and download the demo, and the score page, guess what? It tells you the score. But nonetheless, that is how I get to choose some of the most exciting games too, because ESEA, I mean, the score is like right there in front of you, and it's like, oh, well, that looks like an exciting score. So, spoiler alert, this is going to be an exciting game. Pinball Wizards, though, Immediately getting some kills here. Platinum and Relic going down. Lansky needs to take some heals from KBK, and he actually grabs that kit too. KB pretty close to full. And oh, a nice jump in by Lansky. Takes down Smacka. And now it's going to be Squid trying to clean up a little bit, but no, Enigma and Moose get in and get the kills. Oh, they've forced the Uber as well off of KBK. Sweater now going to try and maybe deal some damage to these scouts, but trying to predict scout movement is just so difficult. Look at that. He had no idea where that scout was going, and now, uh-oh, Moose with the huge kill on Sweater after the Uber. He's going for the kill on KBK as well, but KB still has 130 health. And that's going to be Tang running in to save his medic. But Mixup, wow, nobody's even capped that point yet. Moose doesn't know where the back is, apparently. He's only been playing this game for how long? Come on, Moose. Figure this map out, man. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing him. He knows where stuff is. And Moose is pretty awesome. He would just absolutely crush me in any MGE. Anything ever, probably. He knows it. But he was a pretty chill guy at LAN. It was awesome meeting all the classic Mix-Up dudes from last season. And we, of course, didn't get to meet any of the Pinball Wizards guys, because guess what? Intermediate players don't go to LAN. But they just might this season if they can win a couple games. But you know what? Only 4 teams go to LAN. And I think, especially after what Valen told us yesterday, and after looking over the rosters again, any of these teams can go to LAN. What was Relic doing over there? Uh-oh. That is a pick right there. The roaming soldier down without even doing any damage for his team. Moose ends up eating maybe a sticky or something, and Lansky going for some air shots. Not quite going to be fragment material there, Lansky, but they lose basics, so now they've decided to back off a little bit. It's going to be just about even players. In fact, Relic is going to get there a little bit faster than basic, so they've got maybe a tiny little 3 or 4 second window where they will have better local numbers, and they're actually using that to kind of push forward here. Yes, they are. And so it's actually more than a 4-second window. But oh, Smacka gets taken down immediately by Lansky, and now we got Squid taking down Moose. We've got Tang actually watching the flank over here. He spots a scout coming in on Basic, but Basic finishes off Enigma with no problem. Enigma actually finished off Basic too. I think Basic ended up hitting himself with a rocket to kill Enigma, and then both of them died. Is 43 choke good or bad? Okay, Smacka, we know. Sometimes ESEA servers lag a little bit. That's what he's talking about there. Pinball Wizards cap mid though, and Sweater's going to start trying to just check for enemies, really is what he's doing. Check for sticky traps and all that. The more explosive damage you do, if you hear the little hit dings, you know somebody's over there, and if you see sticky bombs scattering all over the place, then you know there is probably a trap around the corner. Don't want to walk straight through those. But there is a slight Uber advantage for the Wizards. I don't know if they realize that, and they're not going to push to take advantage of it. They do, however, send Basic. Where's Basic? Basic! Okay, thought they were going to send him through the window, and they still might. When you're in a situation like this where it's pretty stalematey, especially on a map like Snakewater, you're going to send the roamer in, make him try to do something. Just now, Shrew gets his Uber, so they actually had a decent window of opportunity to push in. But maybe they thought they just wouldn't get away with it. So Basic is going to, woo, look out. Start trying to spam over here. He's not really interested in jumping in just yet. Maybe watching for opponents to make a mistake instead. That might be the team call right now, but Smacka finds him with a sticky trap, so all the choke in the world can't stop that from happening. And Smacka is now going to start leading the charge for Mix-Up, laying some sticky bombs down on his opponents, trying to force him backwards, or maybe even force an Uber, but he hasn't actually hit KBK yet. Still at 150 health, that medic. And Tangy staying really far back. This is something interesting I've noticed about a couple different scout players, actually. I don't know why they do. I'll have to ask, because yesterday I saw this happening, and today I see it too. There's always a scout standing way up back here. Or not always, but a lot of the time. And maybe it's just because they can see all the entrances and they can immediately spot where enemies are coming from. Maybe it's because they want to just not take a lot of damage, and this way they can stand up here and be like, yeah, whatever. You guys want to come in? I'll be at full health by the time your Uber's over. I have no idea. But I really need to ask them what the deal with that particular little tactic is, because I've now seen it twice in a row. And Tang on the flank right now does spot a scout. Scout spots him too. Basic taken down by Smacka, and oh, Smacka with another crazy sticky trap, taking down Sweater and Lansky. That is going to be Mix-Up pushing forward again. Pretty soon here, going to capture the middle point, and look at that. Pinball Wizards are already nowhere to be found. They're just like, yeah, we just lost 3 players. Get out of there. Get out of there. And so they're going to be standing on second. Medic doesn't sound very happy about that, but it's just him and the scouts left. And there you go. They actually got some forward spawns. Really useful for defending this point. Mixup will know they got the forward spawns because, of course, when you're in a position like that, you're trying to cap a point. You pretty desperately, you're holding tab and you're hoping they don't spawn forward. There goes a soldier straight out of the forward spawn. They just walked right by it. What were they doing? Tang comes out there and hits Platinum, and in the chaos, Basic actually died, but forced the Uber out of Shrew. Both of these teams now Ubered, and there you go, saving the Demo Man just briefly is KBK. So that was a really nice flash, saving him from that meat shot from, I think it might have been Moose. Maybe it was Enigma coming in, though. And Mixup need to retreat now. They've lost Platinum and Moose. So Relic is kind of pocketing for the moment, which isn't really what he wants to be doing. And there you go, Smacker going to start laying some traps again. And his traps have just been pretty beast so far. These ones don't seem like they have a heck of a lot of preparation for them. So they're pretty standard traps. I mean, it's kind of what you look for. But we'll see if somebody maybe makes a mistake. That was some weird pill fire in there, Smacker. I don't know what's going on here. I think he was trying to hit into the window room, and he just totally fluffed him. There you go. Now he will lay down a trap right at that little doorway. And deceptively simple some of these traps are. As people are walking in, they just might see that and think it's a little blade of grass or something. Who knows? So we'll see if he actually manages to catch anyone with his traps. Whoa, bad camera work. And over here, we've got Platinum playing his... Wow, that was not Platinum at all. Try again. Try again. Wow. Okay, can't find it. There we go. Platinum was doing some spam, and now it looks like Mixup trying to push the same way. They really like this push from over this direction. They just got to be careful about walking next to that respawn door, because you can't go back into it once you... Ooh, nice jump by Basic, forces the Uber, but now Plat is doing a lot of damage to Lansky, and Lansky, the Uber is forced to save him. Platinum going to jump out of here for a little bit, and then actually jump right back in, waiting for, and hoping that Uber finishes off, but he is taking a lot of damage. There goes Shrew, though. Mixup lost just about everybody here. It's just Moose left. He's trying to go for the kill on KBK, but he can't get it. That's a wipeout for Mixup. So the Pinball Wizards, not only are they going to capture mid, they're going to have a huge Uber advantage. And if I were them, I'd be spending maybe Tangy... Tang might be able to go put some pressure on here, but no, Smack is laying down a sticky trap. Now there is a spy, Enigma, doing some cute little crazy stuff here. Oh, gotta make sure nobody sees him, though. That could be dangerous. I'm kind of surprised he's just kind of staring at a wall here, but who knows? He's going to wait for maybe the push to happen. What is he waiting for? Enigma, the entire team is like all the way forward over here. He needs to get over there. Maybe maybe he's waiting for his cloak. That's what the deal is. Did they ban the cloak and dagger from this season, or is it just like everybody's decided that the new watch is better? I'm confused. He's going to come in and try to get a pick immediately, though. And actually, everybody's kind of jumping around too fast for him. Goes for the stab. There he goes. Gets Lansky with a nice little backstab there. And Relic tries to jump in and stop the cap, but that's not going to happen. Enigma is now nowhere near being in position to save the point. But, Enigma, no. Okay, so his medic has an Uber. They can hold this point for at least 8 seconds while they wait for their respawns to come up. And I think that's, yeah, Pinball Wizards are not pushing in on this. A wise choice. Well, Squid just seeing what he can make happen, which is not a lot. He's going to have to back away from that. We'll see. Enigma comes back up on Engineer. This man, Enigma, is like off-classing like crazy today. So he will set up a sentry overlooking the point and trying to shut down an avenue of attack for his opponents. Relic also on the sniper, and Relic was actually beasting it up as sniper too on land. That was some crazy sniping going on. Oh, look out. Alright, and Tang does get taken out, trying to push in there, but he was I think the only one who actually did it. Mixup going to be a little aggressive here and try to push on that. Their opponents do have an Uber, so I'm not too sure if that's going to work too well. Maybe they were just trying to put up a little bit of a forward hold for a second and see if they couldn't ambush their opponents. Now they will probably back up. Yeah, Shrew is looking like he wants to go through that door. There he goes. So, yeah, going to post back up on last. With the Pinball Wizards actually walking through the cheese room over there, which is what Valen decided to call it. And they got to watch out for the sniper. I think they know there's a sniper there, which is why that medic is staying so far back right now. They do not want to lose that Uber, well, not advantage, but they don't want to lose the Uber that they have. And Lansky is just, he's playing tactical espionage soldier action. Kind of looking for an opportunity to maybe spot Relic, but they are being very, very cautious right now. And here they go. They may just push in on this. Lansky's going to meet up with the medic, and nope, not yet. Really, he's actually standing in a pretty exposed spot. If the sniper had just peeked around that corner, it would have been a headshot, probably. But it could have just been that he was trying to bait the sniper. Who knows? Who knows? Relic's still sniping though. Still looking. And Lansky just going to be sending a couple rockets towards Moose, who still has an overheal, so didn't really do any damage there. This is going to be a nice little stalemate. Whoa! What is going on here? This is a push right now, and Lansky hasn't taken anything close to an Uber. Actually, both soldiers ran in and tried to force the Uber of their opponents. KBK nowhere to be found, so the Uber is forced. There was a lot of time on the point, but there's 2 players down right now for the Pinball Wizards. They're going to have to use this Uber probably to defend the second point, which they should be able to do. Mixup pushing forward, and Platinum immediately eats a sticky trap there from Sweater, so these demo men are paying for themselves 10 times over right now. Relic's still on the Heavy now, actually. He has swapped over to Heavy just to make sure that they get a proper defense set up. And here you go. The Uber coming in now. This is a nice little advantage that the Wizards built for themselves. So let's see if they can't make it happen. Tang actually taking a lot of the Uber, being walked forward onto the point, and this is a scary thing to deal with. A Heavy getting all the way out there to that point, helping the Pinball Wizards cap it 1-2. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to push forward with a Heavy, sometimes it actually helps to Uber him as soon as you walk out the door, like they did. Well, pretty much like they did. I think they Ubered maybe a soldier as well. But they Ubered him as he walked out the door, and they just walked him all the way to the point. He wasn't even dealing any damage with the Uber. He was just using it to get to where he needed to be. Because once you have a 450 health Heavy standing on that point, what can you do about it? Hint, the answer is not a lot. So the Pinball Wizards are now... it's 1-2. It's a decent scoring game. But, oh, they're losing a lot of players here, and Tang goes down as well. Relic, the only casualty so far. Platinum helps take down, what was that? Basic. Does take down Basic. They lose their medic, and KBK is actually still alive. So, Lansky's just going to be trying to build an Uber a little bit for himself, and they do need to run back, though. All the way to last, so they are going to lose the second point, because there just aren't enough of them. And, whoa, what happened? Uber forced, actually, and they're still running back. So, lucky for them, Shrew just now respawned, which means they're going to have even Ubers. In fact, KBK is going to have a nice little advantage, but they are trying to build this just about as fast as they can, keeping Lansky hurting himself to build the Uber. And they do have Tang on the Heavy now, Squid on the Sniper, or he was. Instead, they're going to swap out Tang, going to go on Engineer, and I swear I have seen him play Engineer before. Maybe an Intermediate, but I know he has been a decent Engineer. Speaking of Engineers, by the way, that new series I started, the weekly wackiness, we had Ellison in there, the Communities versus Pros Engineer. Super celebrity engineer, I guess he is, especially over on Reddit. So do say hi to him if you see him. Ellison! But right now, that sentry's actually in a sneaky little spot. I don't think I've ever seen a sentry down over there before, down to the right where that circling heart hat is. It's a decent spot for it. So I think the Pinball Wizards should have a nice defense set up, and especially how turtley it is right now. Come on, Fraps, don't do this to me. They should have a decent defensive setup right now, the Pinball Wizards. How turtley this is, I mean, you got a Heavy standing on top of the point, very standard. You've got the sentry right in the path of his minigun right now, actually, where it cannot be spammed. Like, the entire blue team, they just can't even hit it unless they completely expose themselves through these choke points, which sounds disgusting, but no, it actually just means pushing forward. And so really, I mean, they can't take the sentry down until they push in, and then they have to focus some of their Uber time on the sentry. It's a decent decision that Tang made to put that there, and we'll just see if it pays off. Mixup going to try and push in fairly soon. Going to watch the smacker cam as he dies, so that's not going to be a push. Basic and Sweater actually did a heck of a lot of damage there, but they can't really take anybody else down, as Mixup's now just going to back up for a little bit, wait for Smacker to come back, and Pinball Wizards actually lose Basic. Sweater's going to try and force an Uber, and actually does. Gets the Uber popped on him at 8 health to get saved, and Mixup now, they could turn this push into something, but it might be a little bit too late, and they haven't dealt with the sentry yet. So I think that sentry's still there. Yep, sounds like it is. So that sentry is going to ward off any sort of push for a while. Right now, the Pinball Wizards just kind of turtling it up because they're starting to get into territory where there isn't enough time left for them to push all the way back out and capture the next point. So pretty much we're just going to start watching them do some. I'll watch the Lansky cam for a little bit. Going to watch them start doing some heavy turtling and really just kind of attempting to keep their opponents at a man disadvantage, which is what Basic did right there. If they can jump forward every so often, get a kill, even if Basic dies, it doesn't matter all that much. He's going to respawn like right in the middle of the fight, as long as he gets a kill, which he did against Relic. So Relic is going to take a little while to get back in the fight, which means that Mixup it's delaying the push for that much longer. And the more they can delay this, the closer they get to halftime, keeping it only 2-1 instead of 3-1. I don't know. Could very well be that actually Mixup. Oh, Lansky, that was a sticky trap. I don't know what's going to happen here actually, because I completely forget what the score into the halftime was. It's the benefits of having the memory of goldfish. Shrew, though, is pretty close to full health. Looks like he took a little bit of rocket splash damage, not a lot. And Lansky just kind of looking for spies right now, actually. I think. But they're sitting here with this 100%. They have not had to use it for a while. Oh. Okay. Okay. Come on, Fraps. I don't want this to happen again, but it is. It's going to happen. Okay. Alright, I hope Fraps is done hiccuping for today. Really do, because it's never done this to me before, like, this week. Well, Pinball is still kind of turtling it up here, and the dispenser... Oh, not the dispenser! It's been taken down! The poor dispenser. Tangy's going to try to rebuild one, but it'll just never be the same, and here comes a push. Looks like that dispenser pick was all important. They're going to try to push in on this and just say, no, you know what, you killed your dispenser. And actually, they got the sentry before they even had to pop the Uber. Kind of nice. So now they get to use this full Uber to try to deal some damage to this Heavy, who is taking a bit of hits, and actually pretty decently close to death right now. Squid still spun up, and there you go. He does take the Uber, finally, from KBK. Considering how late KBK popped this... Oh no, Basic actually got in there and killed Shrew. Nice, and Tangy now kills Relic. This could actually turn into a push. They just got to be careful about, getting flanked, and they got to be careful about Smacka laying down sticky traps all over the place. He's going to start trying to just do some damage. Oh wow, look at that. That was Tang, who's paying too much attention to Smacka, not enough attention to his flank, and Moose came in to finish the job. So nothing that Pinball Wizards can do now except fall back and defend again. They are 2 men down, but they do have an Uber advantage after Basic got that really clutch kill on Shrew. So what's going on here? Are Mixup actually just going to push in on a man advantage? They might. No, okay, they've decided to back away from that and just build the Uber. Not even going to have an advantage, which is kind of too bad because they would have. When they pushed in there, they popped an Uber, and KBK held onto it for a really long time. And they just weren't able to translate that into enough kills. So if Shrew had stayed alive, it would have been like a 20 or 30% Uber advantage. But it's not. Too bad. So sad. Mixup. Whoa, what's going on here? Is that Basic again? Basic actually kills Platinum, and Relic is down too, so there are no soldiers out here right now for Mixup. They've got another 2 seconds before Relic respawns and starts trying to get back to the fight. Dispenser does not go here. Dispenser goes wherever Tangy wants it to. Where are you, Tang? He's just now resetting that sentry in the same location underneath the little walkway here. Yeah, looks nice and homey. You know, it's a cozy location for a sentry. Pretty good real estate. We're letting it go for maybe about 15 grand right there, just for the property. The Pinball Wizards still sitting back here, and their wizardry seems to be limited right now to defense, with Basic just doing crazy stuff, and that's probably Basic again. Basic, we're just going to watch your cam from now on. Although Relic on the sniper could get a pretty important pick here. Ooh, did get spammed away though. Okay, where's the Basic cam? He's doing crazy stuff. He finds Smacka, takes him down. How are they letting Basic do this all the time? Holy crap, man. Basic is just everywhere he needs to be. And is he going for a spawn camp? Please tell me he's going for a spawn camp. Okay, no, he's just going to go around for a flank, which... Beautiful jump right there, actually. Pretty good air strafing. See where Mixup decides to go with this. Are they pushing in yet? No, they're waiting for Relic to get a pick, and Basic is just going to be watching for Smacka. Finds him again! But somebody has found Basic now, and he gets another kill. Relic does take down Lansky, so that's a soldier down for the Pinball Wizards. Mixup, though, can't push in. Not really, because they don't have their demo with them. He's too busy worrying, so they have pushed in, but they don't have their demo there, and that is just not going to work for them at all. They don't have enough damage out on the field. The sentry is still up. Smacka finally gets in there, but it is way too late right now. And Basic, once again, he is dead, but he has been doing his job as a roamer. He has just been causing chaos among the ranks of Classic Mixup. Tang with the pistol kill on the medic. And then he gets finished off by Moose. So, I mean, the Pinball Wizards, they're just having difficulty pushing out to the second point. They really want to cap that so they're not in danger of losing the round right away. And I thought they should be able to, but Lansky actually backing up. He had, like, no health, and that scout did some crazy meat shots to him, so he is going to have to back away. Once again, Sweater setting up a fairly standard sticky trap over there in the bucket. Just putting those sticky bombs right down in the bucket. And if you don't watch for it, you get owned by it, but There you go. Enigma watching for that. He knew that trap was there. And Platinum jumping in once again. Looks like maybe the round is just about over here. Time might be running out because they are pushing without an Uber into a team that is just about to have an Uber. Not even able to take down that sentry yet. It is still alive and shooting. Platinum barely gets out with his life there. And Mixup actually lost Shrew. So KBK, I wonder if the decision here is going to be to push out. It's probably not, because they don't have any scouts right now. And if you can't push out with scouts, you're going to get flanked. It's just going to happen, because you don't have people who can very quickly run around and do the screening they need to do to keep your combo safe from those flanking scouts and flanking soldiers and everything else. So if you don't have scouts, you are pretty much prepared to just sit back on last and hold it, and I think that is what they're going to do. They are going to cross their legs and make a face and hold it. Okay, sorry, maybe that was really bad. I don't know. But Pinball Wizards are still at 100% Uber. They can pop that whenever they need to save their team. And Basic, I mean, how can you not watch the Basic cam? Because he has just been, he's been like Visa of TF2. He's everywhere you want to be. Sentry finally gets spammed down by Platinum there. But, oh no, that's just the dead body of Shrew. It's not actually Shrew dead. Okay, Shrew is still alive. He does pop the Uber, and Basic can't do anything about that. But once again, that's going to be Smacka out of the fight. Took a lot of damage and wasn't able to connect with that medic, so he had to run away. And now Tang is going to come and get maybe a kill here? No. Oh, that was so close. But it's going to be good half, ladies and gents. Alright, Sweater, show us your stuff here in the second half. I'll watch this Sweater roll out and see just how perfect he can make it. Sails right next to that doorway, just barely clearing it. Barely clears the fence. Man, I want to be this guy. Not I want to be the guy, I want to be this guy. And he's immediately laying down a stick, trying to hit his opponent there over on the other side, but there's actually a scout walking out of that house. And now Scout's going upstairs. Sweater, not too worried about that. He knows he's going to have some defense. Whoa! Lansky just got some crazy air shots there on Relic, I think. They were relatively close by, but still, that's some awesome kills. And now, Moose and Enigma doing some pretty good work on Tang and Basic, but they are just about the only damage classes left alive for their team. They're doing some crazy kills, though. Lansky goes down as well. Sweater still alive, still going to be able to take down Enigma and hold off most of this area, unless this Scout does some damage against him, but he has got a Scout to defend him, and there you go. Squid finishes off Moose. So that is going to be a mid-fight going in favor of the Pinball Wizards, who are now in blue. They have swapped sides. And here you go. Lansky is going to do some decent jumping to get out there. The Lansky cam, which I have been watching. I gotta say, it's been a couple nights where I have watched Lansky's stream until I fall asleep and have to go to work the next day. And I'm always, like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could, like, not be in an office and be watching Lansky stream instead. Although, I tell you, I would like to watch Lansky scream, too. Lansky, do it. The Wizards, though, they are sitting back here on mid. They actually got a bit of cap time there. We didn't see what it was because I was too busy on my little tangent, I know. But I think it might have been Basic jumping in. Maybe a Scout as well, considering how much cap time there is on it. And Mixup is going to have a bit of a problem in just a second here, as they've got a Scout pushing forward and Basic jumping straight at the medic. But they wisely backed up that stairway. And Basic just doing his best to try and cut off the retreat. There is an Uber popped right now, and that is a big advantage there. Shrew, though, I think he's gotten away. And Platinum is going to try and kill these Scouts here who are chasing him down. That's Basic. Oh, no, that's Lansky, actually, who was behind enemy lines. And Platinum, don't walk over those stickies. He knows they're there. He knows. But Mixup is back on their last point right now and actually trying to hold forward. They got to be careful about, you know, a spy maybe coming in and doing some damage, but so far that is not going to happen. And Platinum, who has always been a good soldier, he was Demo Man last season, but he always played soldier before that. Platinum jumping out and putting on the hurt right now, so it is... There you go. That is the capture for Classic Mixup, recapturing their second point, so they're not in danger of losing this round anytime soon. They do still have an Uber disadvantage now because they weren't able to take out KBK, so this is a much more conservative round so far for the medics. They have not been in position to die very often. And here you go. Looks like they may want to start pushing forward. Lansky taking a lot of heals right now, so you can tell he is still getting pocketed. And he's going to jump up, go for the medic. Can he finish that off? No, actually, Shrew gets finished by Basic. Squid was running straight down as well and ended up dying, but Basic finished that. And, oh, Lansky still going for those air shots. takes down Relic against the wall instead, and now they're just going to be careful about all these dive-bombing players. That's Enigma, Moose, and Platinum all coming in here. KBK is in trouble right now. Can the Scout Tangy save his life? No, he cannot. KBK eats a pill to the back. He's going to try and spam the crap out of that, and there you go. Scout comes in to finish off. That is Squid with 3 kills in a row. Finished off a lot of players to save KBK's life and his Uber. And you know what, KBK? Your Uber is more important than your life. But I guess you kind of have to have both. One is a necessary prerequisite for the other, so I guess your life still counts too. Mixup is in a little bit of trouble here, as the Uber is going to come in immediately. Watch the Sweater cam, actually. See what Sweater decides to do. Pushing in, because they need to push this just as soon as they have it. They are going to do exactly that. Walking straight through here, and not even having to worry about sticky traps right now. They kill Shrew before he's anywhere close to an Uber. The sentry gun from Enigma is down as well, and that was kind of a weird spot for a sentry. But it did force a little bit of attention away, and wow, every time I click my mouse, somebody dies. I should stop doing that. Moose, though, coming in and getting some good kills, but it doesn't matter. Can't stop that point. So it's now, what is it, 2-2? I think it's 2-2. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie game between the Pinball Wizards, who this is their first season of Invite, and maybe Sweater's played an Invite before? Possibly? Or maybe Lansky has too. I think Lansky might be an older player who has played a couple seasons past, and I just might not know that. But a lot of these guys are, I think, relatively new to Invite. Mix-Up, pretty much all these guys have been in Invite before, and been doing a phenomenal job. But Lansky, oh my gosh, how did he not take fall damage from that? He's still alive somehow. Squid in on the enemy soldiers and takes down Relic. And now he's going to try and sneak up behind, going for the medic. That medic is getting some protection from a Scout. Enigma, wow, sends him doing a backflip in midair. But it's not going to matter, as Enigma is now down, and so is Shrew. So Shrew probably stayed in a little bit too long there, or maybe he got chased down. Regardless, the entire Pinball Wizards team pushing forward. They're leaving a Scout back to capture the middle point, as the rest of them get out to second. And so they want to immediately start the cap here, and that's what you got to do when you've got a big advantage like this after mid. I say it every time, but if you keep your medic alive after the mid fight and your opponents don't, immediately have your heavy damage classes push forward to that second point. Sorry, I don't know, Fraps is still kind of wonky, but immediately have your heavy players and your medic push towards that second point and start the capture just as soon as your scouts capture mid, because when you've got an advantage like this, you need to push in very quickly before. What is going on here? Something is a little off right now. I don't know. Yeah, no, anyway, they're going to push in with that right away. They need to take advantage of the Uber that they have while their opponents do not have one. The sentry goes down once again. Enigma not really having much luck with those right now. There goes basic, though, and so the Pinball Wizards are not really able to finish this push up. They've still got to deal with a heavy. They've got to deal with 2 soldiers, both of them getting heals, and it is just Sweater and KBK left up. They're going to have to drop some sticks on that second point. And Sweater is laying some down. Ooh, very close to getting a kill there. Whoa! Predictive air shot there on that soldier jumping up in the air. I think that was Platinum trying to take his medic forward, and he took a ton of damage. Sweater didn't quite get the kill, but, I mean, look at how beautiful this guy plays with both of his launchers. Nonetheless, you can't do anything against an invincible soldier. So Platinum gets the kill there. Relic finds Basic over on the flank and takes him out. And so now that Pinball Wizards are down 2 players, you're going to see Mixup push in. And wow, look at Platinum right in on the medic. Did a lot of damage there, but KBK actually still above 100 health for a little while. And Enigma finishes off a player over here, Tang, in the corner. So I don't see Pinball Wizards holding this. Mixup should push forward. They got to be careful. Oh, that's why they would have had to push into a heavy, and that heavy did get a kill. Takes down Moose right away. So Mixup actually not liking that, but Squid does go down, so they don't have to worry about the heavy anymore. And they are now getting the capture. Whoa! Shrew just got a beautiful kill on Basic there with the Uber Saw to get him an Uber. And that is pretty impressive. We didn't get it on camera, my bad. But Basic tried to jump in and force the medic to do drop or something, and that's going to be a little embarrassing sometimes. But at the very least, Basic can be satisfied that he delayed his opponent's push into second, and the Pinball Wizards now have an Uber advantage. So even though it sucks to get killed by the Uber Saw, and you're like, come on, it's still an effective roamer tactic, even if that happens, because you are generally going to force an Uber out of the medic like that, which is exactly what he did. And look at that, Lansky taking down Smacker right away. I didn't even know where that rocket landed, but it landed close enough. And Lansky with some sick jumping, pushing straight in towards those other soldiers. Sweater finishes off Relic here, but there is a scout in on the medic right now, and man, these guys just do not give up. Neither team has been in any mood to give up any ground today, because every single time there's a push, there's always a scout or a soldier in on the flanks. Basic has been everywhere. Absolutely crazy roamer. And Squid just now taking some heals. It looks like the Pinball Wizards are still going to hold on to this, and Mixup wanted to take it. They can't. Well, they can now, as the Wizards are now backing off with a Uber advantage. They don't have the Uber yet, so they're building up towards that advantage, I guess. It turns out maybe I've been using the phrase Uber advantage slightly wrong all this time, because at least the way some of the invite players use it, they only say the word advantage right about now. So when you actually have the Uber is when you have the advantage. When you don't have it, even if you still have 50% up, you don't have any real advantage yet, because you can't actually pop an Uber until it's at 100%, you know. Anyway, Lansky hits the best Moose there, and Shrew is getting a couple of nice kills. Actually, Tangy on Enigma now as well. It was a nice little Uber for us, but Mixup completely failing to get out of the way of the train that is the Pinball Wizards, who just might... Oh, yeah. I like Lansky's decision-making there, looking for those sticky traps, because Smacka is still alive, and actually doing some pretty good spam there. Oh, he missed the trap. It was right on that crate, or maybe it was like right in that little... I don't even know where it was. But, man, Smacka with his sticky traps is something else. I've got to be watching him more often. There's just so many awesome players to be watching. How does KBK even do this? Something is like flipping out about my TF2 whenever I watch him, because maybe he's like lagging a little bit, but it seems like he's just in two places at once. He is the Muad'Dib. Anyway, so Basic, the only time he hasn't really been like super crazy is pushing in from mid into second, like the position we're in right now. He really hasn't done a lot of crazy stuff here, maybe just because he gets spotted out really early and he knows he has to cover way too much distance to be effective. So, you know, very smart guy, this Basic. And now it's Smacka just trying to stay alive against a decent Uber push, but that Uber is fading away now, and Mixup just finishes theirs up here after the Pinball Wizards. So they just got to watch out for a back cap, which is happening, but Platinum going to try and jump in and stop it, and he can't! Pinball Wizards sneak one in there. Squid with a beautiful back cap. And I thought Mixup was just going to play it by the book and push out and leave somebody on last and cap second and come right back. But now the Pinball Wizards, for the first time, are ahead in this game, which is pretty crazy considering it is still their first season of invites. This is just going to be such a good season. If you see an invite game, it practically doesn't even matter who it's getting casted by. You need to watch it, because this is like the most exciting season of invite I think we will ever see. Platinum, the first man to die at this fight. Enigma looking for some kills on Basic, and he does get him. But now Moose is the only scout left for Mixup, and he's going to have to try and retreat. Some pretty good dodging by Moose. Look at that movement there. How he's snaking and doing a serpentine pattern kind of away from the health kit and away from the door just for a second to make his opponents think he's going the other way. I mean, every little thing you can do at this level is pretty awesome. And Moose finally gets taken down there by Tang. He was a little pressured from both sides, didn't have a medic on him anymore, so he may have been a little out of position at that point, but wow, got some movement on him. And Mixup backed up to their last point, with Shrew just now getting 100%. Enigma on the Engineer. Once again, I'm willing to bet he's set up his sentry in the same location. It's really just kind of a delay tactic. Where are you, Enigma? Enigma. Yep, it is in the same location. Using the Jag. Kind of a weird choice. But he will have it just sitting right here next to that tank of disgusting biohazard water. Oh my gosh, this is like the worst it's ever been. I don't even know what to do about Fraps right now. It is definitely not working for me. But, no, he is still keeping the sentry in the same location next to that biohazard water. And a dispenser behind the truck. So Pinball Wizards going to have a tough time pushing into this. And this is what Pinball Wizards actually did last round, pretty much. They the last round of the last half, I mean. They just sat there, as you recall, after having seen it, and they turtled up, which is what Mixup now wants to do. They're keeping their medic inside spawn, so nothing can even damage the guy. Basic and Sweater getting taken down, but they pretty much were just trying to push in to force an Uber or something, and they didn't get away with it. Medic was, like we said, in spawn, because he kind of called that out, and Squid is now just going to have to watch for Scout sneaking underneath. I think he got away. I think he did. And that Scout, of course, is going to be Moose. Took a bit of damage, and no! Moose eats it. KBK now dominating that Scout, which just means that Moose has not gotten a lot of medic picks recently. And KBK getting a lot of assists. Looks like they do want to push in off a one-player advantage, and the only player they actually killed was a Scout. He will be respawning fairly soon. Oh no, once again, they still aren't bringing their medic in. The Pinball Wizards are just trying to force their opponents to die, force their opponents to lose an Uber or something, but they've lost 3 players now. Oh, this is really interesting. So the Wizards playing a decent little tactic here. Now, they are going to have to probably pop their Uber to save the second point, but they can totally do that, and they are going to. I really like their decision-making process here, because what they've did is they're sort of playing it like a gravel pit game. Basically, you just keep trying to force your opponents to pop an Uber while they're on defense, and the Wizards, as long as they have somebody like a heavy, standing above that second point, they can't lose it. So they can afford to keep throwing away 3 players at a time, trying to force their opponent's Uber, and if it doesn't work, just back up, and they've still got a heavy watching the second point that practically can't be defeated. I like this playstyle. And, call me John Madden, but I really like this play calling. So, Tang is still going to be sitting here as the heavy and not pushing off of this. They don't have any Uber advantage, they know that. So I think, once again, we are probably going to see, Lansky, Basic, and Squid all jumping in. They're just going to take a little bit of a buff from KBK. Each one of them going to try and get buffed up to max health, and we might just see that jump again. Lansky actually watching for... Basic did jump in, but he got killed by Relic. At this point, Mixup has got to be thinking to themselves, oh, this sucks. Because what do you do against this? You've got... Actually, what they try to do is now they're trying to do the same thing. They're going to, every time... This is a good response. Holy crap, guys. This is some high-level stuff right here. So Mixup, they haven't, practiced this specific situation, but every time they see their opponents throwing a man away, they're going to throw away a man of their own, just to try and force enemies to pop an Uber in a really awkward spot, and then maybe they can get an advantage off of it. But now Basic's going to come in as a spy, and oh no, they do allow the Cloak and Dagger. So I was thinking maybe they didn't allow it, but they do. Totally do. And he's just kind of standing out in the open, but nobody's spamming in that direction, so he's going to be perfectly okay. He's got to watch out for people just walking into him, however. A little bit scary. Spots the sentry, though, and we'll see what he decides to go for. Is he going to try and take out maybe the medic, maybe the sentry? Thinking about it. Oh, nope. Okay. Does see the medic standing up there, and he's... Ooh, this is sneaky. Gonna hop up here, and he's going to be really careful. Platinum, this isn't LAN. This soldier, I thought Plat might have spotted him. This is a really weird spot for Basic. I don't think he's going to be able to get a backstab. He could. Whoa, nobody saw him. He's going for the stab. He does take down Platinum, and then cloaks right back up. Nobody even knows where he is at the moment. They are going to try and do some spam towards him, but it is too late, and now he's going to go in straight for the sentry. So there's already one pick. There's a lot of spam coming in right now, and Basic going to use the chaos. He takes down Enigma, saps the sentry. Beautiful play from Basic. And they still can't find him. Oh, they finally do. But he has done his job. The rest of the blue team now pushing in. And I think Mixup saying, come on, guys, you're taking this a little bit too seriously. But no, Pinball Wizards really want to show who's boss right now. They know that everything is on the line here. This is an official league game, and they want to put themselves up for the season. Mixup still has 4 players live even after that. So what a defense from them after losing their pocket soldier and their engineer and their sentry. They still managed to hold on and are probably going to push back out to the second point. So for all of that work that Pinball Wizards put in and all of the tactics that they just tried, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Oh, might though. As Enigma and Shrew are now down, KBK could get a big Uber advantage here. Squid's got to watch out for a demo chasing after him. But, oh, they might not even have to push with Uber advantage. They might just push right now if they can get enough picks. Platinum down to 82 health. He'll probably get away. No, they're not going to push. They're not in position yet. Okay, my bad. But they were definitely being very aggressive there, as Mixup was still kind of out of position to defend. So, once again, Pinball Wizards, they get another chance here to try and push in to the last point. And the Scout, of course, just hurting himself. Somebody told me that it was the fastest way to build Uber. I guess I always thought that as long as your target is below 142% health, that you build at the maximum rate, provided he's not like standing next to a dispenser. So soldiers should be able to do just as good of a job of building as a scout with a Boston Basher, but I don't know. And here they go. They're going to pop straight in through there. And whoa, KBK gets popped really far forward. He's actually going to be taking the sentry, because the sentry AI just shoots whoever is the closest to it. So he took all the shots away from the rest of his team because of where he was, and he still managed to get away from that, which just says, hey, pretty cool. I think he might have actually surfed off some of those sentry bullets while he was still invincible. Smacka taking down Lansky, though, and that's going to be, well, now 2 down, but actually this is, I think, Basic taking in a lot of hits. 2 down right now for Pinball Wizards, and they now, oh, they're so close to losing that second point, and Schmack is just going to finish off that cap. There you go. While the rest of the Pinball Wizards have to run away from an Uber. Shrew just finishing it off, and what is he? Okay, he's going to back away through the other door. All right, he'll get away from that. So Mixup, they do hold the second point now, and the Pinball Wizards are still trying to warm their spells up, I guess, because they tried some there, but their spell of summoning pinballs was not enough to win this round. I think, is what they were doing, considering they are Pinball Wizards after all. Pushing in, though, and they do have the Uber, so they immediately take advantage of that, while their opponents don't. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Please tell me you remember that commercial. Anyway, no, Mixup going to be backing away. Once again, they've lost Relic and Platinum. Lansky's not up, so I doubt whether the Wizards are going to push on this, especially because Shrew is going to have an Uber in like 2 seconds here. Okay, longer than 2 seconds. Don't hold me to that, guys. Come on. Come on. But he's very close. There you go. So the Pinball Wizards are just going to have an issue with not being able to push in for the moment. They're going to wait until they have their Uber in about maybe 15 seconds. And Relic not on the Sniper, which, decent decision since Sniper really didn't work for him last time around. Lansky trying to get away, but Platinum pulls out that shotgun, shoots him down out of the air, and that Uber is still going on. Crazy. Squid gets away with 9 health right now. He probably is going to end up dying in all this chaos, but he spots the medic and could get a shot or 2 off. And the Pinball Wizards, once again, that is Tang with another back cap. They're actually up to 4 points right now. 4-2, so the Pinball Wizards are very close to locking this game away. Can Mixup bring it back, is the question, ladies and gents. Can they do it? No spoilers. Spoilers are bad. Smacka getting out here, and this time around his rollout was quite good. Takes down Tang, who was trying to jump in at him, but oh, Basic gets the kill on Smacka. There you go, both demo men down now, so it's going to be kind of a soldier show from here on, and KBK and Squid, the only ones left for their team. Moose is going to try and chase him down. I think he's spotted KBK. Has he been seen? Yes, he has. He was trying to do some damage, but that is not going to work for him. Gets taken down. So Squid, with eyes like a hawk, keeps his medic safe, builds that Uber up, but the Pinball Wizards are going to be on their last point, which is not a fun position to be in. Oh, Shrew! Popped the Uber to save his skin. That was a panic pop right there, and it might not even matter, though. It's still doing a lot of damage. Oh no, there's an Uber from counter Uber from KBK, so this is actually going to be really useful for the Wizards. They might put this one away, but they're going to have to push all the way out across the map. And the Ubers actually are even. Shrew is not healing anybody for a while there. So the Pinball Wizards hold on to their second point, not in danger of losing this round yet. Well, let's find out. Squid, what are you doing? Just kind of watching for I think he's just trying to guard the flank and be an able body on the team for the moment, not really doing any damage. The rest of his team can spam, you know, whatever. Squid's just kicking back. Oh, I need to take my allergy medicine. It's got to happen sometime soon. But the Wizards, man, they've got that Uber up. They have a spell of invulnerability ready to cast on their opponents. I hope they roll a natural 20. I'm just kidding. D&D is actually pretty cool. Smacka missing one of those sticks, since that's going to make it a little bit harder for him to actually do any damage. He is staying back away from these Ubers, though. He kind of wants to hold off until they're all over. And there you go. Basic was jumping in for a kill after the Ubers. Wow, it's not going to happen, though. Smacka, Shrew, Enigma, all going big right now with some kills. And there's a scout still here, but he is the only scout left. And there you go. Moose takes him down. KBK is in a little bit of trouble. And Moose apparently is the tough guy now. So KBK is just going to try and do some needle damage. That is not going to be enough to save this. There you go. Mixup their first point in this half. It is now 3-4, still in favor of the Pinball Wizards, but it's looking a little bit scary. Shrew running the Kritzkrieg. That is an interesting decision. They are going to remember that the Kritzkrieg will charge about 20% faster than the Uber, so by the time this Uber fight is maybe just about over, they will have crits. It's not always the most useful thing for mid-fights, unless you can keep your demo man alive, which they could. Smacka, if they can keep him up. Oh, Shrew's getting pushed, though. Tang takes him down. There's going to be no crits anytime soon, and that's why I say mid-fight isn't usually the most useful place for running a crits, because there's so much probability of, like, the medic dying or whatever. Anyway, though, Pinball Wizards are probably going to take advantage of this. They are going to have 100%. Their enemies will have 0% on that Uber, and the Wizards, they could put this away. They really could.
The control point is being captured.
Which I think they should be able to do. Yep, there is that Uber, fully charged right now. Shrew, I don't know, based on his healing rate, he might not have been healing anybody for a little bit. He could have either gun, either one. Shrew, where are you? There you go. Okay, he is doing regular Uber. It does not make sense, by the way, to try and run a crits on defense, because if you do that, you're waiting for your opponents to push into you. And so your opponents get to push in, use an Uber, so that's an entire 8 seconds where they get to focus down the medic, and the medic can't do anything about it because he doesn't have invulnerability. And then after that 8 seconds, if the medic stays alive, then a crits might be useful. But no, look at how many players are dying right now. For Mixup, they're losing a lot. They're going for back cap. They might get away with this. It's going to be really close. Lansky and this medic trying to cap this point. No, they cannot get it. Moose, the only player left alive for his team, manages the back cap. And KBK actually got a nice little needle kill there. Oh, another back cap. Moose is just everywhere. Can he stop this, though? Can he? I don't know if he can actually beat blue team here. No, he can't unless somebody stops it, and they can't. So now Moose is out of position. Oh, maybe not, though. He could do a decent little spawn camp of Sweater. Sweater, where are you? I think he'll get away. Sweater. There we go. All right, and then back to Moose, who is still behind enemy lines. And they know it. They know it. They know exactly where he is. So Moose is not going to be all that useful for this defense right now. I think the Pinball Wizards are getting ready to push in, and they should do that immediately. Looks like they want to. Maybe they're still worried about Moose behind them. They have an Uber advantage. Did they not realize it? Because they totally could have pushed right there. Like, totally. Just could have pushed. Oh well, they're not going to do it. And it looks like they're settled in to kind of try their same strat as they tried before. They're going to have Tang standing on the point while the rest of the Wizards dive bomb in 1 or 2 at a time, sometimes even 3 by 3 to attempt to force the enemy medic to pop his Uber and give them a huge advantage. Moose, is he still behind? Is Moose still behind? I do not know. Pinball Wizards, though, getting a couple of kills here, and Moose still on 1 health. Relic taking a bunch of damage, and Squid just needs 1 more shot on him. Be careful, though. There you go, he does take down Relic. There's only 3 players left for Mixup, and they are attempting to get a little bit of cap time on the second point, but really they just need to back up now. Moose down, it is just Smacka, and Basic is going to be pressuring him away from the point. What a shot! Basic going to end up winning this one, I think. There you go! That is good game, guys. Pinball Wizards take it against Classic Mixup. So they are going to go, I don't know, have they played another game so far? They probably have. I don't know what their record is right now, but you guys need to check that out over on the ESEA website. You can check all these teams' records. Be following all of these teams, because the top 4 at the end of the season will get into LAN, and I promise you it is going to be a hotly contested 3rd and 4th spot at the very least, if not 1st and 2nd as well. I do not expect to see any teams stomping their way to like an undefeated season. So do stay tuned, ladies and gents, not just here, but everywhere competitive TF2 is bought and sold. I'm Salamancer signing out.